Nobody said that.
That was Mr. Let Go.
One mic.
China. Y'all got mad at me, so I'm doing what I'm doing. Remember that.
What are you doing?
Letting people do what they do. I ain't have no problem with Black China making some changes, and I ain't got no problem with Donald Trump. I'm not saying I don't have a problem with it because that's adultery, but at the end of the day, putting a man in jail trying to get some ass, like leave that man alone.
No, you keep saying putting them in jail for trying to get some ass. They're not putting them in jail for trying to get some ass. They're putting them in jail for apparently bribery with campaign funds or government funding.
Right.
You can't do that. That's illegal.
Right. But we fake outrage. We fake outrage.
We're fake outrage. Thank you.
Let me finish. What do we as a whole focus on that's better in our situation? We wait for somebody to say something racist, somebody to do something, him to do something that's kind of legal. It's illegal what he did. We know it's illegal, but what I'm saying is that he's wrong if you're talking about legality. But what I'm saying is that it's detracting from us really doing something about anything.
Let me ask y'all. Donald Trump is a billionaire. Do you think it makes it worse and it changes the gravity of the situation that he used campaign funds to pay off an adult film star, but he's a billionaire? Do you think it's an egregious affront against the people? Do you think that matters?
No. Who's trying to get some ass? Leave that man alone.
Oh, y'all saying this is a distraction. He's a former president.
Yes, Trey.
Being indicted.
Everything else is
all right,
one mic. Go ahead, sweetie. We fake outrage.
We're saying that this is fake outrage, or this is a what did you say? Whatever. This is a former president being indicted. Like, on what planet wouldn't that not make news?
Who cares? He's a former president. That's the first one. Who cares?
Apparently,
leave that man alone.
He didn't do it while he was a former president. He did it while he was president.
Who cares?
What do you mean?
There's another president that got some head while he was a president. Who cares? If I was a president, I want some ass too. Leave these men alone. Shit.
This is dumb.
Wow. Let go. All right, anybody else got anything on this?
Hey, Sweeney, me and you having a misunderstanding.
I just think
it's. Oh, go ahead, Fantasy.
Who was that? Fantasy. Go ahead.
Running the whole damn country don't think I'm gonna get some ass. Leave me alone.
Mr. Lego. I just think it's very interesting that there's nothing this man can do that would warrant people thinking that he should not be a public figure for America. He should not be the president. He should not be the face of America. It seems like there's nothing this man can do that would make people think that there's nobody else that's a better option than him. It just doesn't make any sense that every time it comes to election time, we decide between the same people that we don't want to elect, and then we argue about who elected who the whole time they're sitting. And it just is a cycle.
Well, overall, the world is falling apart because we got a dumbass idiot in I don't know if y'all know, we're about to lose the ability to spend actual money. We're about to go to some weird ass currency and all this other shit. So banks are we on our third bank that just failed. Like, the world is literally falling apart. So, and y'all want to talk about some damn ass. Leave that man alone.
So no accountability for Donald Trump. That's what you're advocating for.
No
accountability.
Yeah, that's what he's advocating for.
The world was actually I didn't really like him, but the world was actually it ran officially when he was in office.
I'm not going to completely disagree,
but at the end of the day, the world is falling apart, literally. So I'm just looking at the contrast.
The world's falling apart. Okay.
I think it should be some accountability.
Sweeney. Hold on, Sweeney. What president? If it makes any difference to any of us, what president did something for anybody? Is the country getting worse or better for people? Is it getting worse for people or better? Tell me the president that was selected that made the country better in your lifetime.
I would say that the country is running exactly as it's always done. There's been ups, there's been downs. We've had recession. We had a recession in 2008. We had the Great Recession. We had a whole bunch of different things happen in this country. This isn't the first time a bank has failed. So for us to sit here, for us to sit here and act as if the world is falling apart, it's not. Our country ain't falling apart. What are we talking about?
Sweeney, so is it safe to say that politicians have these spats where they come out into the news and allegations are brought up, about these presidents? That this is nothing new either.
True. I agree. But I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, man, the guy was just trying to get some ass. That's dumb.
Yeah, I mean, that's the bottom level of it. But at the end of the day, I think it's Donald Trump, and Donald Trump always has hoopla around him. I really don't honestly believe a lot of things that come out in the media. So I don't really get an outrage about it.
Especially when we're talking about a sitting president. When we've been I've only been on this panel for a few weeks, but I've watched several episodes of this show. And I've heard y'all hold all types of people accountable for just getting some ass. But here we are. Here we are. We have a sitting president doing extramarital shit, not being very presidential-like, and we're gonna sit here and say, "Well, the guy was just trying to get some ass." That's crazy. We might well shut the cameras off then, because at this point, because we gonna let him slide, but we ain't let nobody else slide. We didn't let Black China slide last week. We don't let Sierra slide. I'm talking about us in general. We didn't let Sierra slide. We don't let nobody else slide. All these women y'all done been holding accountable this entire time, and then here we go with the president. And all of a sudden, it's okay for him to want to get some ass, despite the fact that he's married, despite the fact that he's a sitting president.
That's what he's saying.
Well, let me add some validity.
Hold on, let go. You say you did 7 responses. Hold on,
I'll leave and let go. Go ahead.
It's wild.
That's what he's saying. What I'm saying is that how is Black community as a whole, or any race of people as a whole, addressing Black China, Russell Wilson, Sierra situations better than the Black community? That's the only thing we fake outrage about. We always mad about another entertainer or this president who's an entertainer as well too. What else do we care about? Especially take the women out of it. What are Black men doing to change our situation, to change our families, to change our environments? Like, where are we going to Congress? Where are we changing laws and policies? Why am I addressing him? He paid off somebody. It was illegal, but that's what all these politicians are doing. All I'm saying is us as a collective we ain't mad about the realest things. What is this?
This is our country holding a man who wants to run this country accountable and making an example out of him as we do everything else. And that's necessary. It's very important for it's people out here that want to be the president one day. That's not how you perform. There's no man in power that's supposed to be running a nation of people. It's just not. It's disgusting how he's acting, how he's always acted. So we're not going to sit here and pretend like just because he I don't know, just because he is who he is or he's done what it doesn't matter